Well, hello, everyone. I am back finally with the astrology for the entire month of December 2025. This probably should have been my first video that I uploaded today, but since we are about to enter the moon in about 2 hours and 5 minutes, um, no, in about 3 hours and 5 minutes. I wanted to get those other videos up first so that you would be able to have that information and help you get through all of that beautiful, wonderful, spiritual, communicative information. And there's a lot there. So now I have the astrology for the entire month of December. So today is the fourth, I believe. Oh my goodness. But I am still going to start from the beginning because some of it will be weaved throughout. And if you don't have the beginning, then the rest won't make sense to you. So here we go. I hope you're ready. Sit back and grab a cuppa. This will probably be, oh, maybe about an hour, maybe less. We'll see what happens here. So December may look quieter on the surface, but energetically, it's anything but that. Think of this month as subtle but powerful, with turning of the cosmic gears, not the loud thunder clap of change, but the deep click of destiny moving into place. Think of a ticking clock. We are living through some of the most significant astrological shifts of our time, and December is one of those bridge months where we feel the atmosphere changing, even if the story isn't fully written yet. Before we get into the month, let's honor the larger cycles shaping everything. Pluto in Aquarius has officially left earthly Capricorn and is settling into visionary Aquarius for the next 15 years. This is the slow but undeniable revolution of systems and institutions, technology and AI, power structures who hold influence, how humanity organizes itself and shares resources. And we're still at the very beginning of this story, barely 10% of the way in. But the tone of this era has changed. Okay. Technology is going to, if you think it has exploded this year, in 2026, it's a whole new ball game. And we will have some beautiful, beautiful things that are associated with AI as far as medicine and advancements in healing technology. But there's also a downside, I want to say, um, with people who will, there's always someone who has to abuse the system. So we need to be mindful. If you are someone who uses AI, make sure you use it and it does not use you. And now I want to make something very, very clear from the beginning. These people that are saying, oh, I ask AI a couple questions about myself and it just knows me. It can read me. It's like getting a personal reading. No. AI has the ability to scan everything you've ever put out into the universe from the first time you turned on your smartphone, joined Facebook or any other social media platform, and it can scan it. It will go through your post. It will learn your personality, the way you speak, the way you write, the way you behave, and it will mirror you. And it's basically AI reflects yourself back to you. So it's not your astrologer. It's not your tarot reader or your oracle card reader. It is not your pastor, your God, or your everything, but it can be a useful tool when used properly. Okay. It is also not Google. Also, remember that every inquiry you make into any of those platforms, AI is no different. It keeps a record. So now there is another record of you floating around the universe somewhere for someone to tap into or hack into at any time. So be mindful how you use it. Be very mindful how you use it. I would not use it for anything personal. If you want to use it to make a thumbnail for your YouTube channel, fine. Me personally, I use Canva. Takes 5 minutes, not even. Um, and I'm not telling you to use it, and I'm not telling you not to use it. I'm telling you to, if you use it, to use it with mindfulness and responsibility. Because with great technology comes great responsibility. Okay, so here we go. We have Saturn in and Neptune. Reality meets the dream at 0 degrees Aries. Saturn, instruction, reality, responsibility, and Neptune, dreams, ideals, illusions, and spirituality are dancing very close together at the end of Pisces. Over the coming months, they will both move into 0 degrees Aries and form a rare conjunction there. This is what we call 0 point. This is a reset point at the very first degree of the zodiac, which is 0 degrees Aries. And this will ask us what is truly real, what is an illusion, and which dreams are we willing to build in a 3D life. Through the month of December and early into 2026, the gap between these two planets closes. By late February of 2026, this conjunction becomes exact and we fully step into a brand new collective and individual personal chapter. The Uranus-Pluto trine echoes of the 1960s, only amplified. Now, I was born in 1963. Some of these things, some of these events I remember. Uranus, which is revolution, revolt, awakening, innovation. It thinks outside of the box. It rules astrology, technology. It's forming a long flowing trine to Pluto in Aquarius. This trine perfects for the first time in mid-July of 2026, then repeats several times between 2026 and 2028. This is not business as usual, people. This is a very profound evolutionary turning point in the history of the world. Their last major cycle began with Uranus-Pluto conjunction in Virgo in the mid-1960s. At that time, we were going through civil rights, feminism, um, ecological awareness. For those of you a little bit older than me, the hippie generation, psychedelics, social movements, and radical culture change. Okay. This is, think of some of our men coming home from the Vietnam War, those things, people speaking out like Jane Fonda, who protested. Think of things like that. They're square in the 2010s, especially 2012 to 2015, reawaken those themes of social uprisings, the Arab Spring, the Occupy Wall Street, the LGBTQIA plus community visibility and rights, conversations around gender, ecological crisis, medicine, and consciousness shifts. So we are now entering the trine phase of that same cycle, not conflict, but integration and, and activation. What was seeded in the 1960s and stirred into the 2010s now begins to crystallize and reorganize the world. The outer planets are slowly shifting from earth and water signs, which are dense, heavy, and there's a lot of emotional processing, into fire and air, which is more vision, communication, ideas, speed. Um, you thought that time was accelerated before, it's going to accelerate more, but also inspiration. So the combined elements of the future are here. So the general vibe of December is basically um, starting off from like a holding pattern to a forward movement, motion kind of energy. So recently, many of the big planets were retrograde, and life might have felt noisy, dramatic, and politically intense. But we didn't feel like we were moving. It was like we were treading water. December will slowly change that. Most of the big outer planets, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, um, have turned direct or will be turning direct, or they're already moving forward. So, which I know Saturn is. Neptune is soon to follow, and then Pluto, I believe. Only Uranus and Jupiter remain in retrograde for part of the month. So we're emerging from a running grand water trine with Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Saturn, Neptune are side by side conjunct, and inner planets moving through late water signs. So this is a kind of an emotional, how can I say it? Like think of it as floating in the water, emotional flotation device, since last October. So this grand water trine has been really difficult for a lot of people. But if you are a water sign, it allows flow. But for signs that are fixed, it's difficult. So make sure you have yourself, continue to allow that flow, even, and it's going to be uncomfortable for some of those, especially fixed signs and possibly fire signs. So, um, there's this quiet, um, I want to say field of protection, spiritual protection that's helping us navigate the chaos. So by mid-December, all that watery stuff starts to fade away, and we may feel um, less coddled emotionally and more aware that real change takes time. And also more awareness that progress requires conscious effort, not just faith. We talk about having faith in the unseen and the unknown, an unbelievable trust in the unseen and the unknown. But it's more than just that. We have to have a conscious awareness about it, and we have to put in the effort. We have to do the work. And hopefully, we've all done the shadow work. And if not, there's still time to do it because that's what that last Scorpio moon was all about. So December 1st through 3rd, as December opens, the grand water trine is still active. Mercury, the mind, Mars is the drive, and Sun is our life force vitality, along with Venus, our heart, the way we love and value, or what we love and value, or who we love and value, have been like sending messages out to Jupiter and the Saturn Neptune conjunction, keeping hope, vision, and emotional sensitivity very, very much alive. At the same time, the sun forms a tense pattern, which is a yod, or what we call Thor's hammer, which is an iron yod, with Jupiter, Chiron, and Eris. Now, this highlights and brings healing, okay? Big questions about the future, old wounds that are begging for your attention and integration. So if there's anything left hanging, please try to work on it over the next couple of weeks. Also, disruptions that are actually invitations to deeper truth and healing. There's a strong sense of how much is too much, something is shifting, and how do I know how far to go? You go as far as you need to go in order to get the healing done. This is the emotional and energetic backdrop that we carry into the Gemini full moon and the rest of the month. So when you look at December on the surface, it almost looks calm. Jupiter is moving slowly backwards. Saturn just stationed direct and is barely edging forward. It's such a slow moving, I mean, it's 29 and a half years. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, so you know, that's been a shift in energy because it moved from an air sign to an earth sign. It moved from a sign that is a sign of duality and communication into a fixed earth sign. But Taurus is also a money house. Okay. It's like you work hard for the money and it's Venus ruled. So again, what do you love and value? And with Taurus, it's material things. So what are you going to take with you? What material thing are you going to take with you? Pluto is slowly inching forward in Aquarius. And trust me, I know how slow it's moving because it's been sitting on my moon. And Neptune stands still around December 10th before turning direct. Hallelujah. Thank you, universe, because, well, that's been sitting on my sun conjunct my Jupiter. Technically, they're all moving. Energetically, they're almost standing still. We're talking about planets that move very, very slow. When I tell you Pluto and Neptune have been sitting on my sun, Jupiter, and my moon for months, literally, it's been within orb since Pluto moved into Aquarius in January. So it's been a year. It's been a year, but it's been a wonderful year in many, many ways, especially with my moon, because it highlighted my personal power. And I know someone else who has their moon placement where mine is as well. And that's Buddha. And Buddha, if you're watching me, watching this, um, yeah, it's highlighting your personal power. So pay attention to what's going on. So technically, they're all moving, although it may not feel like it. They are. Energetically, they're almost standing still. So this isn't a month of big outer planet kind of action. It's a month of positioning, negotiation, recalibration, realignment, I would also say strategy, and it's a month of integration, decluttering, completing, simplifying, and preparing for a very, very different kind of energy in 2026. Now, there is one sign that there is an exception to, and that is Sagittarius in all this. Sagittarius is the exception because most signs get softer and quieter in December. But Sagittarius doesn't because this is Sagittarius's month. So happy birthday to all my Saggies and happy birthday to all my Capricorns because we will be getting into Capricorn later in December. So if you have sun, moon, rising, or several planets in Sagittarius, this month feels like movement, growth, like a reorientation, no stagnation, because Venus is in Sagittarius most of December. It entered on November 30th, and Mars begins December in Sagittarius and then moves into Capricorn around December 14th into the 15th overnight Eastern Standard Time in the USA. So it would be the 15th if you're in the UK. And Mercury enters Sagittarius around between December 9th and 10th Eastern Standard Time and stays there for the rest of the month. Now, we are still in post-Mercury retrograde shadow until the 16th of Sagittarius. So even though we're out of Mercury retrograde, we still have that post-shadow period. You want to be mindful of the energy. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. That's what I want to say. However, Jupiter in Cancer, it wants to please and it's expansion, but it can also be overindulgent. So just be mindful of how you use that energy until we get past that December 16th. So there are three personal planets activating Sagittarius, and that makes that energy stand out in December. So if you are a Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising, or you have a lot of planets in Sagittarius, um, you are the star of the show. Okay. And we also have, we will also be getting very, very close to the galactic center. So that will be very, very interesting because that will just ignite a whole new vision, is what I want to say. So from late October through April, the moon cycles are usually precise. Every new moon had occurred at 28 degrees of its sign, and every full moon occurred at 13 degrees of its sign. This repeating pattern is rare. If you have any planets or angles at 13 degrees of any sign or or 28 degrees of any sign, you are being directly activated by each lunation in this window. So check your charts. There's a video on YouTube on how to pull up your chart, and all you have to do is look at your houses and look for Sagittarius and look at all of your planets and look for anything that's 13 degrees or 28 degrees. Okay. And then you will know what house and sign are being activated. If you need assistance with that, let me know. So in December, the full moon in Gemini at 13 degrees, December 4th, which is today at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The new moon in Sagittarius will be December 19th, actually late night, early morning, December 20th, Eastern Standard Time, and that will be sitting on the galactic center. These are not our regular run-of-the-mill moons. They are turning points. It's like putting the key into the door and unlocking a whole new world. So here we go, day by day. December 1st, a vision is activated. The month opens with the sun forming a Thor's hammer pattern to Jupiter, Chiron, and Eris. There's a push to see your future differently and to recognize where disruption is really a call to healing. Remember, Chiron is the wounded healer, and it is the co-ruler of Virgo, which is one of the signs of the healer, and Eris. And Eris Ah, she's a kick-ass goddess warrior. That's what I want to say. She can bring up some chaos and conflict, but it's things that need to come up to be faced, to be communicated, or to be healed. And don't forget that communication is a form of healing, and so is listening. So make sure that when you listen, you are actually hearing what someone is saying. And if you're not clear on what they mean, make sure that you ask so that there is not any miscommunication. So this whole vibe is kind of visionary, but edgy at the same time. Like, so what I would suggest is name one thing that you're ready to outgrow. It could be a habit, a belief, an old pattern, and write it down. Write it down. And remember to release it. December 2nd, Venus sextiles Pluto, Uranus supports Neptune. So we're talking about emotions deepening, relationships intensifying, and subtle nudges from the universe. I want to say like backup is available. So it's intimate, honest, and soul deep. Have one real conversation that goes beneath the surface with yourself or someone that you trust. December 3rd, the moon moves from grounded Taurus into airy Gemini, briefly activating Uranus. The nervous system kicks into high gear. Conversations and ideas feel charged. Well, I can honestly say that I felt that yesterday. I was like on what I call spiritual speed. Zoom, 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 zoom. And you can tell because I think this is my fourth video today, and I did all of this prep yesterday and last night. Well, actually, I started it the day before. So within the last 2 days, I've done all of this research and prep. And trust me when I tell you, it is not easy reading reading the um, charts with this ephemeris. The letters and or the numbers are so tiny. I had three pairs of glasses and I was finally able to find a pair that I could actually read it going through this book to pull out all of the transits and the aspects. Um, Unfortunately, it doesn't write the astrology reports for me, and I don't use software, so I use my brain. I feel like, and nothing against anybody who uses software at all. I just I like to do it so that I it stays fresh in my mind because otherwise I'll forget things. So here we go. Um, so you wanted this is where you wanted to last night and tonight, right? Do a just empty your brain on into your journal or a piece of paper, give your mind somewhere safe um to let loose is what I guess I want to say. So today, December 4th, the full moon in Gemini at 13 degrees, 6:14. This is a karmic crossroad of mind and relationship. This moon is part of the rare 13-degree pattern and forms a subtle opposition to the Venus-Mars midpoint. It doesn't trigger the outer planets strongly, but it does pierce right into your personal life and dynamics. It's more the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, I consider personal and outer planet. Um, so it's more those things, it's more our daily, day-to-day things, okay? It highlights the words you've spoken, the stories you've been telling, and the choices and contracts, whether spoken or unspoken, that shape your relationships. It also strongly activates people with planets around 13 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces. So the question you want to ask yourself is, what if you were wrong? This full moon raises a tender human dilemma. What do you do when when you realize you were wrong? We live in a culture that treats changing your mind as weakness, flip-flopping, or inconsistency. But the Gemini full moon reminds you that the real danger isn't in correcting, it's in the refusing to pivot when you can clearly see the road you're on leads somewhere you no longer want to go. So basically, maybe you had a belief in someone or something, and now you're seeing that someone or something in a new light. The clarity is coming. They can no longer hide behind the false mask. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, in that moment, I believe this, but now I believe that. Okay. Or I believe this and that. It's just okay to change your mind. Don't beat yourself up because it's all about growth and expansion. And we're going to change our minds, and it's okay to change our minds. So, under this moon, something you've said, agreed to, or mentally attached yourself to comes up for review, especially in relationships and around social dynamics. You may change your mind on a decision that no longer feels aligned, admit out loud that a plan, contract, or option, opinion needs to change for yourself. Because we all know that we can't talk to people that can't hear us. You can talk to them, but when they're not going to hear us until they're ready to hear. So don't waste your energy on that. Focus your energy and your attention on you. We may need to clarify misunderstanding that has been quietly breaking trust somewhere. We may need to confront tension between logic and emotion, masculine and feminine. We're all aware of the imbalance between the masculine and the feminine. It could be between head and heart, and it could be within yourself or between you and others. Relationships, romantic, social, sexual, professional, may come under the microscope. Words that were once casual may now feel loaded. Flirtations may show real consequences, and emotional truths may suddenly surface out loud. Okay. By choosing honesty over image, you embody a quiet, unmistakable leadership. Authority figures, bosses, elders, gatekeepers, those who doubted your courage may end up deeply impressed by your willingness to pivot, take responsibility, stand in your own sovereignty, realign with what's true now. And signs most affected would be Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Sagittarius, plus anyone with planets near 13 degrees of the mutable signs, which would be Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. December 5th, Sun squares the nodes, the south bending. The Sun, 13 degrees Sagittarius, squares the lunar nodes, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. This is called the South Bending, a karmic crossroads focused on Virgo themes because it's a South Bending. So we're looking towards the South Node. So the South Node is in Virgo. So this is about work and daily responsibilities, health and body care, health and wellness, service to others, and systems that keep life running, but may also keep you small. You may feel disillusioned with your job, tired of being the reliable one who carries everything, drained by health issues or stress, anxiety, um, or trapped in a schedule that leaves no room for joy or meaning. Do not shrink, expand is the message. Instead of obsessing over what's broken, ask what would feel more meaningful and what small shift could open more space for joy, inspiration, or learning, and which routine is far past its expiration date. Because this is happening in mutable signs, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo, you are not asked to blow up your life. You are asked to make small, gentle adjustments to your daily rhythm that slowly change everything. Change one element of your daily schedule this week to honor your future instead of your past. And signs most effective: Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. December 6th, Mercury trines Jupiter while the Cancer moon activates the lingering grand water trine. That we've had that water trine forever, which is okay if you're a water sign, but even the even I'm a water sign, even I'm getting tired of water because on top of that, it rained for the last 6 weeks. We've had rain, sleet, snow twice. The second one a big one, the first one a little snow, and um my kitchen faucet, something's wrong with that. I need to get it fixed. All water related things. So make sure you check your house for leaks too. Okay. But let's see. Hope and possibility continue to expand, but they also can be overpromising with Jupiter. So be mindful. Dream as big as you like and then commit to one grounded step because so many options, so little time. December 7th to 15th. This is the main stress frame of the month. Now, this may be a tough week. Mars in Sagittarius squares Saturn and then Neptune in Pisces. It's not catastrophic, people, but it's going to let you know it's there. It's political, how can I say this? Political smoke and what do you call it? Mirrors. Loud talk and empty promises and theatrical, almost Leo-like theatrical gestures with little substance. Lots of noise without a lot of meaning. Compared to 2025 as a whole, and especially compared to what's coming in 2026, this is mild, but your nervous system may still feel this stress or the strain. So be mindful of taking those extra self-care steps. I did do a video on self-care. Make sure you ground, okay? Take those salt baths. Take some time for you, even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, where you can just go sit in silence or meditate or whatever. I mean, I always say you can meditate on your lunch break, like literally do it. There's 5-minute meditations on YouTube. Like go find one and calm yourself down. Remember the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I could share that underneath of the video after I upload it, and that'll walk you through and to help you settle your nervous system because It's going to be activated, people. All right. So, on December 7th, Mercury trines Saturn, Mars quincunxes Jupiter, and the moon crosses over Jupiter. So what does all that mean? Okay, so Mercury trines Saturn, that's a nice positive aspect. So that means that Mercury is having a communication with Saturn, the father, okay? Or the great teacher. Mars quincunxes Jupiter. Now, a quincunx is an aspect where the two planets involved have nothing in common. So that can cause friction. And then on top of it, the moon is going to cross over Jupiter. So it's going to highlight whatever it is that comes up. It can be productive, but we could be unsure. It'd be like, am I doing too much or am I not doing enough? Am I working too hard or am I not working hard enough? So write down what's like one thing that is really important to you, one thing that is essential in your life, one, and release one obligation that isn't. On the 8th, Mars squares Saturn. This is a day of friction. And usually whenever Mars is square anything, there's friction, but especially Saturn or Uranus or Pluto or Neptune or anything. So this is one of those like stop start push pull. So you could run into it's like your boss, an elder, or someone that's really good at criticizing you or critiquing you. Um, a deadline or a rule or a boundary that feels somewhat restrictive. Saturn can be restrictive. But now if we've done the work, we should know how to navigate this, okay? So if you're feeling restrictive around some kind of a boundary, you want to look into that, dive deeper into that area. Like, what is the boundary that you feel is restricting you? And for many of us, it's ourselves. We get in our own way. A feeling of being judged or over scrutinized. So underneath the frustration, there's a hidden compliment. You matter enough to be held to a higher standard. Mars wants freedom, Saturn wants maturity, and together they forge mastery. So you are being asked to get your shit together and to master something. So it could be, you could feel frustrated. You could feel like you're being held back or slowed down a little bit, but this is what needs to happen in order for that refinement of that mastery to occur, especially in a fire sign. So instead of forcing yourself, forcing things, just allow the flow. Signs most affected are Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Pisces. December 9th, tension before the breakthrough. Mars Saturn friction continues to linger. Mercury heads toward an opposition with Uranus and a trine to Neptune. It's kind of edgy. It's breakthrough energy, but it can be heady. It can be when I say heady, like the mind could be electrified, mentally, I guess loaded would be the word. So you want to practice grounding your energy, take walks, breath work, before sending important messages or making big changes. Stop, pause, breathe. Okay. Are you going to respond or are you going to react? December 10th, Neptune stations direct. This is your lightning truth. Neptune stations direct while Mercury opposes Uranus and the moon travels through Virgo. Inner fog meets sudden flashes of truth. You may feel like you're waking from an emotional or spiritual dream. This isn't a day for self-blame. It's a day for sorting out fantasy from soul truth. Sudden realizations, tender clarity, tech or communication, surprises may occur. Notice what intuitive downloads have arrived and write them down so that they may shape your 2026 path. Signs most affected: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So it is the water signs. December 11th, the last quarter moon in Virgo, and Mercury re-enters Sagittarius. The last quarter moon in Virgo carries a quiet but potent question. Is this still working for me? You might realize that you could possibly be on the wrong path, headed towards a destination that no longer matches your heart or your values. You may feel obligated to stay because you said yes, even though you felt doubts from the very beginning. This lunation says it's okay to walk away. A moon Jupiter sextile promises that another route, one better aligned with who you are now, will appear. At the same time, Mercury moves from Scorpio back into Sagittarius. Scorpio honed your emotional intelligence and skepticism, and Sagittarius brings big picture thinking, optimism, and faith. And Sagittarius is just, you know, it's ruled by Jupiter. It's a planet of luck, and it's about joy. It's about children, and we have the holidays coming. So together they create wise enthusiasm, hope rooted in experience, and you might notice a renewed courage to tackle something new that once felt impossible, more staying power with hard tasks. Sagittarius is known for overcommitting and for sometimes not finishing projects. So my Saggies, you're going to finish your projects. Okay. Um, a wonderful sense of humor returning around old heaviness. Sagittarius can laugh at themselves. And that is one of the things that I like about Sagittarius. So this is it's like a course correction and a refocusing of hope. So December 12th is about finding harmony. The moon enters Libra, seeking balance, peace, and beauty. We want to be relational. We want pretty, beautiful things around us. It's about aesthetics. And we want to be diplomatic. So practice reharmonizing your schedule, space, or relationships for more ease and fairness. December 13th, truth with a spark. Mercury sextiles Pluto. Mars quincunxes Uranus. Remember, two opposing energies that have absolutely nothing in common, and deep conversations and surprising events may swirl together. So this could be intense, but revealing and slightly unstable energy. Use your voice intentionally. Say the hard thing, but say it kindly and bravely. December 14th, Mars square Neptune. Mars forms a square to Neptune, and the moon moves from Libra into Scorpio. Mars wants clarity and direction. Neptune blurs the edges and dissolves certainty. This can bring confusion about what to do next, doubts about your path or decisions, and a deep dive, a dip in drive or confidence. This is a temporary passing energy. Do not make any major important decisions on December 14th. If you push too hard against the fog, if you keep trying to see through the fog, you're not going to get the result that you want. And if you exhaust yourself, you could collapse into it, and you may give up on something that still has life. It's that you're just not able to see it clearly yet, like maybe that new business. The sweet spot is gentle persistence. Don't overreact to the uncertainty of the day. Do one small aligned action and then rest. December 15th, Mars enters Capricorn. It is climbing season, people. Mars enters Capricorn, where it is traditionally exalted, which means it's where it's strongest, it's focused, it's capable, and it's effective. It is raw, real drive. Capricorn is structure and strategy. From December 15th to January 23rd, you may feel more willing to work steadily rather than chase shortcuts, take on serious responsibilities, build or rebuild something from the ground up. Be mindful of the shadow, which could be cutthroat competition and equating worth with productivity. We all know that they are two separate things. The medicine, devoted effort toward what truly matters. Choose one long-term goal and commit to consistent steps, even when it's not glamorous. Signs most affected: Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn. December 16th, Sun square Saturn. The soul, courage. The Sun in Sagittarius square Saturn in Pisces, something that begun about 6 months ago may hit a test or delay. Questions may arise. Is this even worth it? Did I misjudge this path? Why does it feel so hard? Remember now, that we were talking about 6 months ago. So that's supermoon energy, or eclipse energy, excuse me, or both. Could be both. So that's still reverberating out into the universe and mixing in with these energies. Remember, it's never just one or two energies. It's like a cocktail, and it depends on your chart on how it plays out. But questions may arise. Is this even worth it? Do I still want to keep doing this? Have I taken the wrong path? And why does it feel so hard? And Saturn squares rarely say turn back. They say go deeper and grow stronger. This transit asks you to recommit to what genuinely matters, not to what just sounded good, except that there is good and bad in all, if whatever good and bad are, however you define them. I usually say nothing worth having for is handed to you. You have to work hard for it. So accept that growth often comes through discomfort. Adjust your approach instead of abandoning your calling. You want to be serious. Clarity will be coming, and it can be a little bit gritty, but don't give up your personal power. You want to be empowering. Okay, so signs most affected are Leo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Pisces. 17th, December 17th, motivated but unsure. The moon enters Sagittarius, heading toward the new moon. Mercury activates a Thor's hammer pattern with Chiron and Jupiter, and this is motivated, stirred energy that is slightly agitated. December 19th and 20th, new moon in Sagittarius at 28 degrees. on the galactic center. We are sitting on the portal, the doorway to the galactic center. And the new moon at 28 degrees is aligned with the galactic center and the part of the rare 28-degree pattern. In Eastern time, it lands late on December 19th or very early December 20th, depending on your location. This new moon is not just an opening, it's the real beginning, the ignition point, the upgrade launch window, a turning point of the arena. I'm sorry, of the era, turning point of the era. All the training wheels come off December 20th forward. We are no longer just preparing. We are in the thick of it, people. Sagittarius rules truth, meaning, and direction, belief systems, and personal philosophy. Faith that carries you through doubt. And we talked about the new moon, so we could skip that section and go to December 20th. Moon in Capricorn, moon square the new nodes, sun square the nodes. Which makes sense. As I was washing my car and everyone was standing around watching me. Okay. So this could be very karmic and clarifying. Karmic and clarifying and somewhat sobering for some people. You know, you need to ask yourself, where am I still not seeing something clearly, or where am I still fooling myself? Then, choose a boundary or a commitment that aligns with your long-term well-being and try to stay committed to that. Maybe a vision board might help as well. December 21st is the solstice. The sun enters Capricorn. And in the northern hemisphere, it's the darkest day of the year. The deep stillness before the light returns. The sun enters Capricorn, and that is summer solstice, and the energy is sacred pause, cosmic silence, a threshold moment, and spiritual retreat. For many sensitives, this may feel like the true new year, the moment the light begins to grow again. Capricorn Seagoat reminds you that goat mountains climb, should be mountain goats climb, steady and tenacious. The fishtail feels deeply. Your outer success is fulfilled by your inner wisdom of waters. So it's a quiet and a holy grounded day, or a beautiful day for reflection. The fishtail feels deeply. Your outer success is fueled by your inner power. So it's it's quiet, it's holy, it's grounded, and it is, I forgot my vegetables. Okay. Just thought about that. Forgot my vegetables. I just had this vision. That was weird. Okay. So your outer success is fueled by your inner waters. It says create a solstice ritual for yourself. Name what you've been releasing in 2025 and call in the kind of strength, softness, and sovereignty that claims what you want to carry into 2026. Signs most affected: Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Libra, and those with a strong Capricorn placement. December 22nd, emotional intensity and breakthrough. That is December 22nd, emotional intensity and breakthrough. The moon moves through Aquarius, aligning with Pluto. Venus quincunxes Uranus. Again, this is an aspect that these two signs have absolutely nothing in common. So it could be somewhat abrasive. If something feels off, don't override it, let it go. Adjust agreements, habits, or patterns that are out of integrity with your freedom. December 23rd, Venus squares Neptune. This is all about glamour and grace and spirit. Venus squares Neptune, casting a glorious glow over love, art, and your desire. You may see someone common through rose-colored glasses. You may feel adored or idealized like someone else. Free, abandoned, or realizing. Oh, okay. So, one second here, people. I just did Venus square Neptune. Okay. Venus squares Neptune, casting a glamorous glow over love, art, and desire. See someone or something. You may see someone or something through rose-colored glasses. Feel adored or idealize someone else. Be tempted to ignore red flags because the fantasy feels so good. And that is on December 23rd. Okay. This isn't about paranoia, it's about discernment. It's dreamy, romantic, artistic, and potentially foggy. Enjoy the magic, but keep big money or binding decisions for another day. And ask, do actions match words? Signs most affected: Taurus, Libra, Sagittarius, Pisces. December 24th, Venus enters Capricorn, grounding love. Through January 17th, shifting love, money, and values toward commitment, practical care, long-term stability. Where Venus in fire air signs chases excitement, Venus in Capricorn asks, can I build a life with this? Is this sustainable? Will this stand the test of time? Remember that Capricorn is about legacy. So it's loyal, sober, and reality-based tenderness. Have one honest, grounded talk with yourself or someone else about what you truly want and need in 2026. And the signs most affected are Taurus, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. December 25th, Christmas Day, a sacred softness. The moon spends the day in Pisces, approaching Saturn and Neptune. It's sentimental, spiritual, nostalgic, and porous. Make space for both joy and tenderness. Rest, pray, meditate, or simply be with those you love in a softer way. This is not a day to bring up politics, people, although someone probably will, so make sure that you prepare yourself for it. On the 26th, there's an emotional turning of the tides. The moon continues in Pisces, meeting Saturn and Neptune, then prepares to slip into Aries as the next day begins. So there's an emotional reality check, plus longing, plus a quiet surrender. Reflect on what this year has taught your heart, what boundaries would help you treat yourself more gently. December 27th, the first quarter moon in Aries, the courage to speak and release. The moon in Aries meets a Mercury Chiron trine, and a Mercury-Jupiter quincunx. Something that may have felt settled may flare back up. Okay, because Mercury Chiron trine is a positive aspect. That energy flows together. It's where you can talk about healing. Okay, you can communicate about your wounds to bring them to the surface to be healed. But then a Mercury Jupiter quincunx, again, those are two energies that have nothing in common whatsoever. So that could cause friction again, especially in relationships or some other kind of agreement. It could be a business agreement or arrangement or partnership. In the past, you may have twisted yourself to keep the peace, but this time, Aries says if they threaten to walk away, let them. Not out of bitterness or coldness, but because now you have clarity. You cannot please someone who is committed to dissatisfaction, to chaos, to conflict. Some dynamics cost more energy than they're worth. We need to be mindful of that. Your life force is needed where there is reciprocity, and this could be bold, outspoken, liberating, and, well, a little bit over the top, a little extra, a little more than that. It could be taken to the next level. So say the thing that sets you free, but keep your tone kind. Signs most affected are Aries, Cancer, Leo, and Capricorn. December 28th, we are learning through the fire. The Aries moon passes over Chiron and Eris squaring Jupiter. That is tension. High energy, reactive, and passionate. Pause and ask, is this reaction coming from my wound or my wisdom? So how are you reacting? Are you reacting or are you responding? And if you are reacting, where is that energy coming from? Your wound or your wisdom? Choose the response that supports your healing. December 29th, grounded choices. The moon moves into Taurus and Mercury trines Eris and squares Saturn. So this is steady, serious, and decision-oriented. The Mercury trine Eris, we're communicating what's coming to the surface, but it's squaring Saturn. So that's tension. So it's kind of like, have you learned the lesson? If not, here's your opportunity to finalize it or to master um, something that's serious and it's decision oriented, because Saturn is serious and Taurus is pretty steady, but Saturn is serious. It doesn't like to play games. Mercury would be the decision, and the trine to Eris would be whatever Eris brings to the surface. So make one practical choice that honors your future self, even if it narrows your options right now. December 30th, quiet before the spark. The Taurus moon moves towards Uranus. Mercury is easing away from Saturn's pressure and drifting towards Neptune's dream field. So it's stable on the surface, but restless underneath. You want to practice anchoring into simple pleasures. Good food, nature, touch, music, soft, fuzzy things. Remember, Taurus is about touch. It's about the senses as the next wave of change quietly gathers. It'd be a good day to binge on Netflix. December 31st, this is an electric goodbye to 2025. The moon enters Gemini and meets Uranus. And what is Uranus? The planet of shock and surprise, the lightning strike aha moments. While Mercury quincunxes Uranus. Remember, quincunxes are aspects. You have two aspects that have nothing in common. Okay. And Mars adds tension. So it's jittery, electrified, and it's that kind of energy that could bring up anxiety um, as we close out the new year. Anxious, I guess, would be the word. So um, it could be nervous energy, it could be surprising, it could be awakening. And I'm not saying it's good or it's bad, it just is. It could be the best shock and surprise of your life or, the worst. I don't know, but it's the end of the year, so I want to say goodbye 2025. Um, but you want to have some kind of, you know, meditation or something in place, some kind of a ritual, where you can write down, everything that you're ready to leave in 2025 and then burn it, shred it, bury it, flush it, and remember to ask for what you want. Ask the universe, show me the path, show me the right path, show me the path that has been lit for me, the one that is right for me in 2026. So remember that December is not loud, but it's powerful. And there's no fake drama, no unnecessary fireworks. Instead of all of that, you want to release, simplify, complete what you need to complete, prepare what you need to prepare, rest, organize, clear, heal, listen. Because once that Sagittarius new moon portal at 28 degrees fully lands, the solstice gate swings fully open. I mean, we're talking about the galactic center. Okay. We're entering a gateway that we never return from. There's no going back to the old version of us or the world. Um, you're crossing a threshold slowly, bravely, and sacredly into a new era of your own blooming. You are blooming into you. Who are you becoming? Who do you want to be? Who and what are you taking with you into 2026? And that is the astrology for the month of December. And I look forward to seeing you all in the near future. And I am whooped. I think that is 4 videos today. And I'm finally caught up. And I just want to wish you, well, I'll be back on for Sagittarius moon. And I will be back on to pull some cards, but it will not be today. Maybe later, maybe tomorrow. We will see how the day goes. But just be blessed, be well, stay safe, stay true to you, listen to your heart, pay attention to your dreams, trust and believe in yourself, simplify, clear out the chaos and the conflict. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Did I say simplify? I think I said simplify. If you were decorating your house, I would say be a minimalist. That's what I would say. Until next time, please remember to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate your support and hit the thumbs up and share this with your friends and family or anyone that you feel needs to hear this or would like to hear this. I want to thank you for your support throughout the year. It's been a rough start getting this channel going because I started it. I got sick. I started it. I got sick. I started it. My brother became sick, and I've been dealing with that. And just some things came up. Um, still working on the new website, the bloominglotuslife.com. Um, there are some free things on there. Trying to get that done before the end of the year. Probably won't. Um, and creating courses and doing other things along with my readings. And I am running a holiday special on astrology and card readings. They will be 50% off for from now until the end of the month. But I will not be doing readings on the 24th, the 25th, the 30th, or the 31st, or the 1st. So, but you could go on the website and buy a gift card, and then we can schedule it at any time so you will get the half price. So, whatever is on the website, it would be half that price. And private message me, and I will give you a special code to buy the um, gift card. So remember to please subscribe, please, um, because I'm getting a lot of views, but I'm not getting a lot of subscribers. So please help me grow this channel. The more this channel grows, the more content I'm able to provide for you. And I'm in the United States where everything has prices have tripled. So I appreciate your support. Um, and I'm not asking for financial support, but just to help me grow the channel so that I can get it slightly monetized and keep bringing this kind of information to you because internet expenses have tripled here in my area. So, and I want to keep continuing to be able to give you this free content. And I love you all, and I wish you the most beautiful, blessed Gemini moon. And remember to just stand in your truth, be your unique self, and speak your truth. As long as you speak your truth and stay genuine and have faith and trust and know that this is an inside job and to trust yourself, pay attention to those dreams. Everything's going to be okay. We've made it this far and we're almost done. And 2026 is coming soon. And we have a doozy coming up. In 2026, we have a month where we have 7 planets in one sign. So there's a little tidbit for the new year for you. And maybe I'll give you more at the Sagittarius moon. Namaste, everyone. Sending you loads of love from my heart to yours.